You'll be already mic'd, and then the commissioners will just say hello and have any.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. It's a little bit different than normal to have people in the room, but we're lucky that culture is alive and well in Culver City tonight. We're going to start the meeting as it is past 7 o'clock. Do we have any public comment? Is that the first thing we do?
Are Shona going to join in or no?
She should be joined.
She's not.
Oh, yeah. You got to press that blue button.
I have to join.
Sorry. Okay, there she is.
Okay.
Bear with us tonight. We are starting to use a new technology, and despite being a vintage millennial and claiming to know a lot about technology, this is even testing my know-how. Some of this is a little out of order now. Don't we normally call to order and roll call first before going to public comment? Why is public comment at the top?
You should be on call to order.
Oh, okay. So we're skipping all that stuff in the
Wait,
front.
hold on. What? See how it's not actually selecting it. I did. Do you want to record?
And then do your roll call. Okay, there we go. So do your roll call.
Chair Mascali,
Present.
Vice Chair Fleischer,
Present.
Commissioner Gupta.
Present.
Thank you.
Actual agenda starts down there.
But how come, okay. So first agenda item is Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay.
Are you seeing it now?
Yes,
on
I
the
am.
Regular session? Okay.
Yes. It is now highlighted. Okay, if everyone can join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. Right hand over your heart, ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, now we're on track. Public comments. Items that are not on the agenda. Do we have anything? I believe we do. Oh, no, that's a test comment.
We do not have any public comments not on the agenda.
Okay. Any receipt of correspondence?
No, we don't. Do I have to record after everyone?
I would say that the receipt of correspondence, there was a November correspondence sent by me with a summary of updates last month, and that would be to, I just want to acknowledge that for a receipt of correspondence.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
So for the record, do we need to say that we received some messages from?
I was going to say that later during the
Okay,
actual.
because that's technically receipt
Yes.
of correspondence. Okay.
Okay, cool. Should we move on to the action items?
So, just one second. So I already typed this on the speakers.
You're not on the item yet.
I don't think I typed them into a specific item, did I? Okay, anyway, action items, let's go. Okay?
Okay. You ready for a staff report?
Let's do it.
Great.
That's what we're here for.
Thanks, everyone. It's a little clunky tonight. Thank you, Chair and Commissioners. The item, this item, A1, requests that the Commission recommend a consultant team to City Council for developing Culver City's Community Cultural Equity Plan, which includes a public art master plan component. As detailed in the staff report, the Community Cultural Equity Plan will serve as the city's guiding framework to support arts, culture, creativity, and equitable access over the next decade. It aligns with the General Plan 2045 and the Parks Master Plan. Additionally, it will create a long-term vision for investing in and integrating public art throughout the city. The city received 18 proposals in response to the RFP, which was much higher than we had anticipated. An interdepartmental review team evaluated the proposals based on published criteria. 4 firms were interviewed. After interviews and scoring, the Creative Economy and Cultural Plan Ad Hoc Subcommittee selected Civil Economics in partnership with MIG as the recommended consultant team. The subcommittee's recommendation reflects the team's combined expertise in creative economy analysis, public art planning, and inclusive community engagement. It also highlights their ability to deliver a practical, equity-centered plan within the city's budget and schedule. Staff recommends that the Commission forward this recommendation to City Council to authorize the city manager to negotiate and execute a professional services agreement. I'm happy to answer any questions after the subcommittee shares any additional comments. And we also have Uday Ram here, who I'd like to just bring to the podium now to introduce civil economics and to speak on behalf of the team and to respond to any questions or comments that the commissioners have. Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners. We are thrilled to be here. I'm Uday Ram, a founding partner of Civil Economics. We are an economic research consulting firm that works at the intersection of economic development and the creative economy. And we are very much looking forward to working with you very closely, as well with the City Council, we're held in this fantastic plan that we're hoping that will get as much feedback and engagement on as possible. So thank you very much. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
You can go ahead first.
I have no questions at this time. Thank you.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, so thank you so much. I am so thrilled that we're going to be working with you. It's really exciting. We loved your proposal. Well, I mean, I'll speak for both of us there, I guess. And I just also want to say that I have been wanting to do a cultural plan since I joined the commission in 2017, so you can imagine how beyond thrilled I am to be about to embark on this. So thank you, and I look forward to the next year of working together.
Brilliant. Thank you.
I joined the process a little bit later. Since we're down 2 commissioners, I was brought on to help in the selection process. And like Tanya said, I think it's a process that's been going on for a very long time. And it's a process that's been recognized that it's been needed. And it can't come at a better time, considering all the energy that's going to be poured into cultural development in the city with the Olympics coming up, and even before that, this coming summer, the World Cup, which is going to be a bit of a test run for cultural programming. And as many people know, there's not going to be any specific sports-related activity in the city. We're not hosting any particular events, but as a result, we're trying to position Culver City as the hub for culture and art and performance and bringing people together in community. So I think it's perfect timing for this to happen. I personally feel that sometimes a lot of the different elements of our community that are dedicated to culture feel a little siloed, and there's a little bit of maybe lack of communication and cooperation between the different bits and pieces of our community that are all making art and pushing culture forward. And I'm really excited for us to have a really top-level analysis of everything that's going on, speaking to all the partners that are involved and all the stakeholders in our community, small and large, and bringing everyone to the table over the next 12 months to really figure out what we're going to do over the next decade to make Culver City a real cultural capital moving forward. So we're also very excited to work with you guys. There's a statement that, should I read the statement or no? Yeah, sure. This is the statement that me and Tanya drafted as members of the subcommittee that were responsible for this selection. We took this decision-making process very seriously, and me and Tanya spent what felt like a full-time job worth of work, calling people, speaking to references, making sure that this decision is one that we can stand on strongly. And here's a statement that we wrote. The CSE Creative Economy and Cultural Plan Subcommittee has selected Civil Economics and MIG to serve as the consultant team for the development of Culver City's Cultural Equity Plan and Public Art Master Plan. This decision is based on their strong analytical capabilities, their clear understanding of Culver City's needs, and their demonstrated ability to deliver innovative and forward-looking cultural planning. Civil brings nationally recognized strengths in research, creative economy analysis, and policy design, which is essential for a city with a creative ecosystem of Culver City's scale. MIG complements this with experience in public art, community engagement, and working effectively with diverse communities. Together, we feel they offer the most robust and future-oriented team to guide this process and deliver a plan that is actionable, equity-focused, community-informed, and positioned to support Culver City's cultural development over the next decade. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I actually just had one question for my fellow commissioners, and I think you did answer that question, which was, what was the key factor that really differentiated civil economics from the others that kind of made you really make this decision? Thank you.
Sure. I'm going to let Tanya speak to that first, and if she, by some random occurrence, misses something, which she normally doesn't, I will add.
So, first of all, we had 18 incredible proposals, and it was very hard to narrow it down to the 4, and it was even harder to narrow it down to 2. And then, dare I say that, yeah, like Ehsan said, it was practically a full-time job because we really, it could have possibly gone either way, but we really felt that what Civil offered us was a real future-oriented look at where we could go with, kind of the most updated tools. And Culver City we're different, right? We already have this incredible creative economy, and so we need to start from here and not from here. And I was very, very happy with the MIG consultant group, especially when we met with the engagement person. He's wonderful, and I think he'll resonate well with the people in our community. So it was really that combination. I just thought, they really are a powerhouse team, and I'm super excited to work with them. So do you want to add to that?
Sure, yeah. I second everything that Tanya said. I also think that the expertise that they brought with their data analysis and focusing on digital surveying and making sure that all of that kind of loops into well-presented data visualizations and graphics that, people can digest at a glance. The caliber, myself having a background in branding for the past 10, 15 years, the execution of their graphics and the work that they've done to produce the various sub-brands that they will be developing for Culver City to, encourage people to engage. All of it kind of came together, in our opinion, very, very well. And to kind of piggyback on what Tanya said, Culver City has a pretty robust creative ecosystem. So we wanted to work with someone who can hit the ground running and understands that some of that foundational work is not very relevant to us. We need advanced solutions, and at a time and place in which, you know, cities are struggling to pay for, you know, police and picking up trash and fixing potholes, unfortunately, art usually falls to the wayside. And in our reference interviews, in the conversations that we had with their team members, they bring a specific expertise of, you know, trying to milk that money out somehow, you know, and try to convince the powers that be that art is important, you know, music is important, performance is important, culture is important, and there are ways to, especially in a city like Culver City where we have these large, you know, corporations that are dedicated to the creative economy, we can try to position ourselves to make sure that that funding doesn't dry up and come up with advanced and creative solutions to make sure that, you know, our programs don't suffer from this, you know, pre-recession kind of situation that we're in right now. But yeah, I think.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Okay, well, we're going to move on to the motions then for moving this action item to City Council.
Okay, I motioned it.
One of you should read the motion text.
Okay, so Chair Miscali, either you can read the motion text or you can have me and we can confirm. Which would you prefer?
Yeah, I can read it. I have motioned it.
Okay, we need to read it aloud for the record.
Go for it.
Recommend to the City Council the selection of Civil Economics plus MIG as the consultant for the Community Cultural Equity Plan, and recommend that the City Council authorize the city manager to negotiate and execute a professional services agreement with the selected firms.
Moved by Chair Mascali and seconded by Vice Chair Fleischer. Do you see the ability to vote on your screen?
Yes.
If you don't, we can do it manually, but if you can see it, that's great.
I can't. Here, you show me. It's not moving. Oh.
Yeah.
It's much easier than I thought.
Lots of surprises.
Okay, all members have voted. Record. And the motion passes with 3 ayes.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Chair Mascali, please read the next action item.
Sure. Action item A2, consideration of, 1, recommendation from the 2026 Performing Arts Grant Program Ad Hoc Subcommittee pertaining to the grant awards for 2026 performances, and 2, make a recommendation to City Council.
I have a staff report, but first, I'm going to read the names of the speakers that are currently signed up. After I give the staff report, then I'll call each of the speakers. If you don't hear your name and you wish to speak on this item, please come and sign up at the front here. Stephen Turk, Marissa Hamamoto, Yosmeet the Dog Star, Lowell Crystal, Catherine Noon, Joan Ford. Okay. So my staff report is Chair Mascali and Cultural Affairs Commissioners and guests. This evening, we're pleased to welcome representatives from performing arts organizations from Culver City and from Los Angeles County. They've applied for grants to present dance, music, and theater events during 2026 in a variety of local locations. I've also forwarded additional public comment to you by email. They are messages and letters from grant candidates, including some that are not attending tonight. There are 26 recommended candidates for the 2026 Culver City Performing Arts Grant Program, and that is 26 from a list of 46 total applications. That's the highest number of annual applications within the past 20 years. I'm grateful to Vice Chair Fleischer and Commissioner Gupta, who serve on the ad hoc subcommittee for the 2026 Performing Arts Grant Program. They dedicated significant time and careful consideration as they participated in planning, analyzing, and overseeing the application process, and preparing the award recommendations that you see tonight. The staff report also includes a newly created panelist handbook and scoring guide. Commissioner Fleischer's preparation of the scoring system and evaluation criteria pages was instrumental to the peer review panel process. It contributed to consistent scoring and the panelists' understanding of the program. We are also grateful to Sony Pictures Entertainment and Culver City Arts Foundation for their generous support. Because of their contributions, we are able to add almost 30% to the total awards. The knowledge and evaluation of the 8 independent peer review panelists is vital to these award recommendations as well. Their willingness to share expertise and their time and attention is important in ensuring this fair distribution of public funds. The panelists are performing arts professionals with expertise in different artistic disciplines and with a variety of backgrounds. Before participating, they each signed a confidentiality and conflict of interest statement, and they received an orientation. Details about the panelists, the guidelines, the review process, the timeline, the scoring criteria, and the requirements for city sponsorship are all included in the written staff report and the attachments for this agenda item. The total amount recommended for all grant awards is $200,518. That amount will include awards for 26 organizations, ranging from $4,000 to $8,000 each. My first year assisting with this grant program was in January 2018, and since that time, Culver City has awarded more than $1.5 million and 207 grants. The subcommittee recommendation before you today will support a wide variety of presentations: 5 first-time grantees, indoor and outdoor stages, small and large budgets, family shows and experimental interactive experiences, classical and modern works, ancient cultural traditions, and innovative artistic practice. The new Gloria Kaufman Community Center at the Venda Museum will be a major hub for sponsored performances in 2026, plus 10 other host venues in Culver City. Unfortunately, we are not able to fund all of the worthy requests for 2026. There are 14 additional applications that are not recommended for grants tonight. We highly encourage those organizations to stay engaged with Culver City and to apply again in future years. Attached to the staff report is a chart of all eligible applications, panelist scores, recommended grant awards, and a brief description of each proposed performance. The City Council will consider the Commission's recommendation for grant awards on Monday, January 12th, 2026. After the grants are awarded by City Council, then staff will begin to execute grant contracts and will assist grantees throughout 2026 on the local publicity efforts for these city-sponsored performances. The recommended motion before you is as follows. Consistent with the recommendation from the 2026 Performing Arts Grant Program Ad Hoc Subcommittee, recommend that City Council approve the 2026 Performing Arts Grant Program awards and related grantee contracts as outlined in the staff report, and recommend that City Council designate the related performances as city-sponsored. Thank you again. Please see the written staff report for any additional details, and I'm going to invite the members of the public who are here tonight to make their public comments. Okay, first, Stephen Turk from the Culver City Symphony Orchestra.
Thank you, Lee. Good evening, Commissioners. As Lee said, my name is Stephen Turk. I'm the president of the board of the SoCal Symphony Society, which is the non-profit that you all know as the Culver City Symphony Orchestra. I've been president for 6 years. It's been an interesting 6 years, to say the least, to be in the performing arts. I've actually been on the board for 10 years, and one of the earliest jobs I got assigned on the board was writing grants. So this is actually my 9th performing arts grant that I've actually written. So when I say thank you to all of you, to the Commission, to the City Council, to staff, for everything you do and for helping our orchestra to bring great music to Culver City, I'm speaking not only as the current president, but also as the grant writer. So thank you. A bit about the orchestra. I think, Chair Mascali, we spoke at the the Great Creative Economy Mixer, and you asked me to come and talk about the orchestra a little bit. We started 61 years ago as an adult education class in Westchester. And in fact, our concert back in April this year, which was paid for in part by the 2025 Performing Arts Grant, was our 60th anniversary concert. We began as a string orchestra. We became a full symphony orchestra pretty quickly. Currently, we have about 55 to 60 musicians typically on stage for a concert. That varies a bit with the program, but that's fairly typical. We are one of a group of metropolitan and community orchestras that has a contract with Local 47 of the AFM that allows us to hire union musicians to come and play alongside our non-professional community members and students. So we have this great combination where we have about 20 to 25 typically union musicians sitting in with us in the orchestra. So when you look at that stage, it's that that special mixture of the union musicians in the principal positions and people like me. I play the cello. I'm a volunteer, but sitting further back. So our founder back in 1964 was a violinist. He played in the LA Phil and major studio orchestras. And from the very beginning, our programs included works composed by and performed by his friends and colleagues. And one of his very good friends was a composer by the name of William Grant Still. Nowadays, you'll see Still often referred to as the Dean of African American Composers and mentioned alongside other noted American composers like Copeland and Barber and Bernstein. But back then, not so much. So we played many of Still's works back then, and we've continued to do so, including works that he wrote for us or arranged for us and dedicated to us. And he came to our concerts. So we like to think that we actually helped to gain the recognition he has today. And we have continued since George Barris's day through 45 years with Maestro Frank Fetter, and then the past few years with Clyde Mitchell, to program a mix of the sort of core classics of the symphonic repertoire, the Beethovens and Brahms and Tchaikovskys, alongside modern works, new works, works by living composers, local composers, and we still really enjoy having the composers come to our concerts when we can. Our 2026 project is a June 2026 concert. It falls the day after Juneteenth. So Clyde Mitchell created a program that really celebrates the Black and American pioneers in the field of symphonic music. William Grant Still, of course, was one of those pioneers. He had many firsts. He was the first African American to have a symphony performed by a leading orchestra. That was his Symphony No. 1, the Afro-American Symphony, and we will perform that at our June concert. We're also performing a piece by Florence Price, who was the first African-American woman to have a piece played by a major orchestra. A piece of trivia, they both grew up in Little Rock, Arkansas, and both went to the same elementary school. So they weren't there at the same time, but I have this theory there must have been one very special teacher at that elementary school for them both to come to that eminence. But anyway, it should be a wonderful concert. It's at the Robert Frost on Saturday, June 26th. So thank you again for everything you do to support the performing arts. It's challenging times, as you know, for the arts, and the steadfast support of the city and the commission and staff has been really wonderful for us. It's very special for us. So, do I take questions or do I just sit down? Thank you.
I do have a 3-minute timer. We're not going to be very strict about it tonight, but please try to keep your comments to 3 minutes. call the next person? You have to uncall. Oh, yes, thank you. Marissa Hamamoto, followed by Yosmita Dogstar.
Hi, Commissioners. Thank you so much for having me tonight. When I was a college student, during a contemporary dance class, I suddenly became paralyzed from the neck down, and 2 days later, I was diagnosed with a spinal stroke. Now, that paralysis from the neck down was temporary, but it was very life-changing. And this eventually led me to create Infinite Flow Dance, which today is a disability-led, award-winning nonprofit and professional dance company that employs disabled dancers with a mission to advance disability inclusion one dance at a time. Our dancers have both apparent and non-apparent disabilities, and we have been performing at a very high caliber level for the last 10 years. Over 400 shows in terms of videos. We consider the internet to the online audience to be our audience. We have a track record of over 100 million views. We've been featured on Good Morning America, the Today Show. I'm a speaker at the UN. I've been named People Magazine Women Changing the World. And this is going to sound really awkward, but we've actually never produced our own full evening-length show. So these 400 performances, we have been invited by big brands like Apple, Google, colleges, schools. In a way, it's kind of an artist's dream, but it's gotten to the point where we really want to cultivate something that we can call ours. And I was really excited that we've made it this far to the grant from Culver City, because Culver City is an incredibly special place for me. This was Linwood Howe Elementary School in 2017 was the first elementary school that brought us to have us perform at a school assembly, and we actually didn't know what a school assembly was at that time, but the kids, we literally came in, performed, shared our stories, raving reviews. Linwood Howe Elementary School spread the word to all the other Culver City elementary schools. So we've been at all the elementary schools. We've been at the high school. Actually, we're going to be at El Marino Elementary School tomorrow morning. And not only that, starting, this one assembly led to us serving over 50,000 children across the country in so many different cities and states. Sorry, I'm getting emotional because it really started with this one school, one teacher believing in us when we really actually didn't know what a school assembly was. So it would be a big honor for us to launch this new initiative of a full-length performance. Which the details are still, I have a lot of, I'm not going to share the full details right now, but it's something that I have been thinking about producing for the last couple years, and we would be very honored to premiere it in Culver City, because we know that this one Culver City performance is going to not just be one performance in Culver City, just like our school assemblies. It's going to ripple out into the country and into the world. So thank you so much for having me. And that was very nerve-wracking, but I got through it. And next, thank you.
Yosmeet the Dog Star, followed by Lowell Crystal.
Hello, Commissioners. My name is Yosmita Dogstar, and first of all, I want to just begin by thanking the Culver City Art Grant, Performing Art Grants panels for recommendation for my project. It truly means a lot to feel this level of support and belief in my work. And I'm a singer-songwriter and performance artist and costume designer. And I use sound, my original music, and visual. And I'm also a visual artist, and I'm also a dancer. So I use those three elements as shamanic and theatrical trinity to create a goddess named Yosmit as my higher channel alter ego using my given male form. As Yosemite's conduit, I give her public performances, costumes, and songs, and situations, and workshops to spread her message of Do You. Do You is doing new. It's about realizing self, using self-expression, and art as a tool of transformation and healing. My proposed project for the Culver City Performing Art Program, the Dogstar Codex, is a three-part site-specific performance art project scheduled to be presented during the Vanda Museum Winter 2026 exhibition, Competing Cosmologies. The work fuses durational wearable art, ambient performance, and intergalactic K-pop futurism and Korean shamanism, and durational and gender-fluid couture, and ritual dance into a ceremonial experience of transformation. It is not just a performance, it is a living myth, a sacred spectacle, and a world where queer spirit becomes cosmic presence. Through music, movement, and storytelling, and shared ritual, Dogstar Codex invites audience into a post-gender, post-hierarchy vision of the self, a state I call homecoming queen. Queen means queen and king together. This project has three-part arc. The first part is the walk, the arrival. The dusk to night ritual procession blending elements of runway, ceremony, and performance art, making the arrival of cosmic being in sculptural costumes. And part two is sound transmission, transformation. A 30 to 45-minute live acoustic electronic concert using voice, sound healing, and movement to trace the mythic hero's journey. And part three is oneness, integration. A communal DJ dance mingling ritual where performers and audience merge into ecstatic celebration. Dogstar Codex is an avant-garde, multi-sensory, and transcendent, yet grounded in joy, community, and collective ritual. Through ceremonial space and wearable performance, it becomes a site of shared transformation. The first iteration of this project was presented as Princex in June 2025 at Grand Performances in Los Angeles as part of the Kola IMAP Master Artist Fellowship sponsored by the LA Department of Cultural Affairs, DCA. This process will engage a multiracial, gender-diverse team of musicians, dancers, and choreographers, and sound designers, and trans non-binary choir members, and wearable art makers, and a production crew, each contributing to the space of care, intention, and co-creation. Thank you very much.
Lowell Crystal, followed by Catherine Noon.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Lowell Crystal. I'm the founder and music director of the Westside Youth Orchestra, and we are honored and thrilled to have recently received notice from Lee Lawler that we were recommended for a performing arts grant in 2026. Very briefly, Westside Youth Orchestra is comprised of two separate programs, a junior orchestra for young musicians between the ages of 6 to 10 years old by audition, and our semi-professional symphony orchestra for young musicians between the ages of 11 to 19 years old, also by audition. All our rehearsals are on Wednesday evenings in the Garden Room at Veterans Memorial Building, and our performances are in the Veterans Memorial Auditorium for our winter and spring concerts. A major part of our success is that the music we rehearse and perform is actually professional level, unabridged original scores. We constantly get verbal or email comments from our students and often their parents that they love the challenge of the level of music that we perform, which gives them a tremendous sense of self-accomplishment and working together as a team. Our most recent concert on December 7th, just a week ago Sunday, featured brilliant compositions of living composers from Mexico, Venezuela, and Argentina. Also included were wonderful compositions of Bach, Bernstein, and Copland, and additionally featured three of our brilliant Westside Youth Orchestra soloists performing with orchestra in this concert. We do like to experiment with our programming, and we've considered at our next concert, maybe it's in fun, but we are thinking of doing a Mozart symphony along with K-pop, so we'll see. Our next performance in 2026 will be at Veterans Memorial Auditorium on May 16th. We will be sure to send you invitations to attend as our guests. Our recommended Performing Arts Grant Award will go towards the complete production of this concert. Lastly, we value the benefit of collaboration with other arts organizations here in Culver City, as we think that when well planned, would be to the benefit of both and the community. Thank you for this time to speak, and we look forward to seeing you at our next concert on May 16th. Thank you very much.
Catherine Noon, followed by Joan Ford online.
Hello, Commissioners. Thank you for having me. It's a real pleasure to be here. I'm Catherine Noon. I'm the Artistic Director and co-founder of the Ghost Road Company. The Ghost Road Company is dedicated to the creation and presentation of ensemble devised theater or collaboratively created theater. Work is celebrating its 30th anniversary this year, and I started the company when I was 10, so don't tell anybody differently. Last November, we presented our third show at the Getty Villa. We tour internationally and also present many of our shows here at home. And we just premiered that same show at the Broadwater in Los Angeles. We are thrilled that the Ghost Road Company has been recommended for a grant award from the 2026 Culver City Performing Arts Grant Program. We'll be presenting this newest piece that we are in the process of creating at the Venda Museum's Gloria Kaufman Community Center in April. The new piece we are presenting is, for now, is called Identity Project. It is a devised work exploring shared human identity through diverse cultural, gender, and interpersonal perspectives. The piece also is highly physical, highly poetic, has original music and vocal work. Ghost Road's work is something that is created by a group of people, and the mission of the company is to present work that exhibits and reflects the world in which we're living in now and comments on that world, and ultimately tries to create community within our audiences and between the performers and the audience. We would like to thank the Office of Economic and Cultural Development, the Culver City Cultural Affairs Commission, all the panelists, and the City of Culver City. This grant does mean a great deal to us. It is always challenging in the arts, and being able to connect with our audience and to communicate with the world in which we live in at this point and to communicate that to others is extremely important to us. So thank you very much.
Not seeing Joan Ford online. Our next speaker will be Sikivu Hutchinson, followed by Jessica Robinson.
Good evening. My name is Jessica Robinson. I am the project director for Black Skeptics Los Angeles and the Women's Leadership Project.
And I'm Sikivu Hutchinson, the founder of Black Skeptics and the Women's Leadership Project.
Black Skeptics is a humanist, socialist, and educational justice organization that provides educational resources and assistance to secular BIPOC communities and youth. The WLP is a South LA-based Black feminist mentoring, civic engagement, and advocacy program for Black girls, girls of color, and LGBTQ youth, which has been in existence for over 20 years, and also sponsors the Standing for Black Girls Coalition. The coalition advocates for prevention education, mental health, and professional opportunities through community organizing, public policy making, rallies, marches, teaching, and arts education. In July, we co-produced a Standing for Black Girls concert in Boston in collaboration with Berkeley's Colleges, Jazz, and Gender Justice Institute, headed by the world-renowned drummer and composer Terry Lynn Carrington. The concert featured 10 multi-gen, Z, and millennial Black, BIPOC, and queer female identifying artists. Our Culver City grant proposes to launch a similar event called the Standing for Black Girls Community Music and Poetry Festival in July 2026. This event aligns with our community organizing, arts education, civic engagement, and youth leadership development platform. The event will provide performances, opportunities, and exposure for underserved artist communities. The Standing for Black Girls Festival will feature original, multi-genre music and spoken word performances by Black, BIPOC, female identifying artists, and queer artists. The event will raise awareness about high rates of gender-based violence experienced by Black girls and young Black women in LA County, while providing powerful testimony to the lived experiences and creativity of local and national Black women, artists, musicians, and BIPOC community allies. Invited artists include globally acclaimed electric guitarist Melina Moy and the South LA-based jazz musician, composer, and Berklee College of Music alum Veritas Miller and the Berklee College Quartet, featuring musicians Ayel, Tamia Elliott, Ella Faye, Javon Laura, and on violin. In addition to these artists, we are also showcasing local talent, such as hip-hop artist and trade tech professor Dr. Ife Jai, and youth from Hamilton High School's acclaimed Academy of Music and Performing Arts program. The artists will perform short sets that center themes of racial and gender justice, LGBTQ+ rights, and human rights. The performances will be interspersed with a session on community art making and a panel on race and gender disparities in the music industry.
So apropos of this point, it's important to underscore the socio-historical context of this initiative. Ever since Mamie Smith pioneered Crazy Blues, which was the first known blues recording in 1920, Black women have experienced racism, sexism, misogynoir, which means anti-Black misogyny, colorism, and genre segregation in the American music industry as performers, songwriters, producers, engineers, agents, publishers, and execs. These barriers persist despite the billions in global profit that Black women have generated for the music industry. As a 2021 report from USC's Annenberg School notes, quote, although the industry is centered on and profits from underrepresented artists, not one of the major music companies such as Sony, UMG, and Warner have a CEO from an underrepresented group. Underrepresented and Black artists are dominating the charts, but the C-suite is a diversity desert. While white women comprise 30% of music execs, Black women only comprised 3% of execs. In addition, these disparities are reinforced by the relative dearth of women of color or Black women-centered music festivals on the West Coast. In fact, the only exclusively Black female music festival on the West Coast is the Black Women's Roots Festival in Berkeley. Thus, our hashtag Standing for Black Girls Festival panel will focus on addressing such themes as music industry challenges for Black women artists, Black feminist best practices for music production, promotion, marketing, and distribution, and inclusive strategies for reaching culturally diverse audiences. We look forward to launching this unique effort with the timely support of the Culver City Cultural Affairs Commission. Thank you.
Alicia Ide.
So I'm here tonight representing the Culver Arts Foundation, one of the sponsors of this program, and I want to congratulate everyone here tonight, as well as those online and anyone who wasn't able to make it on receiving a grant. We want to encourage everyone, all of the artists involved in the organizations and the individual artists who are participating in this, to engage with the foundation. Please inform us of both your sponsored events and your other events, because we have a huge mail list of people who are very interested in the arts that we can send things out to and encourage. We also have a artist meetup that happens at the end of every month, the last Monday of every month, and we encourage all of you to come. The sole purpose of those events is simply for you to get to know each other and socialize together, and for us to be introduced to you. They move around the city, and so join our mail list and find out more. We also give out grants, and we have limited funds, but we encourage you to reach out to us and get involved for your future activities, in addition to the events that are sponsored here tonight by the program. And then lastly, of course, I always want to invite everyone involved in the program to get involved in the foundation and help us both raise money, plan events, sponsor festivals, reach out to artists, et cetera, and bring art to the community. Thank you.
That's our final speaker.
Okay, well, congratulations to everyone who's now part of the Culver City cultural family, and to those who have received grants in the past as well, because I love seeing familiar faces. Did you want to add anything, Tanya?
Hi, everyone. I'd like to say congratulations to all of the grantees and to thank all of the groups that applied. Thank you for your passion for the arts, clearly exhibited by what you said to us today, and also your boundless creativity. It is a lot of work to submit a grant application, and especially for those organizations that do not have dedicated staff to do so. We appreciate you. This was a really strong and competitive pool of applicants this year, and it made the panelists' job as well as the subcommittee's job that much harder. For those of you who were not funded, no one here in this room, but we had many who were not, we all know that public funding is limited, but it still breaks my heart every year not to be able to fund every organization that applies. So when I realized that our commission meeting would be today, December 16th, which is Beethoven's 255th birthday. I bet there are a couple people in the audience who knew that. So I began to reflect on the connections between his life and our grant program. I know that's a little crazy, but that's the kind of thing I do. So if you'll allow me, I'll make a few brief comments on the application and the process and how maybe you can take that into next year's application. And so let me just give you a couple of these general comments. Number one, which I think really affected the panel this year, was make sure you are authentic. Make sure that your samples reflect what you are going to be doing as well as your mission. They really seem to have looked at that and reflected on it quite a bit. And really, really important because we have such a high percentage for artistic excellence. We really want those samples to be as good as you can make them. We prefer live performance to reels, for example. That always lands better for the panel. And we know budgets are hard. I am not a math person. I don't like doing budgets either, but do not do them at the last minute. Take some time with them. Ask a friend to help. Ask Lee to help. She's great with it, because being really clear about your budget, writing in your budget notes can really help with that, a couple of points here and there for the budget scores. So now, if you'll just indulge me, I'd like to put my professor hat on and tell you what I've been thinking about with this relationship between Beethoven and our grant program, in hopes that the parallels might resonate with you. So like so many singular artists across disciplines and genres, Beethoven reminds us that great art is rarely created under ideal circumstances. Some of his work was misunderstood. He was far ahead of his time, something I remind my students of quite often. Some of his music struggled to find financial and popular support, and so much of his work was created as he was losing his hearing. Even after he had lost it completely, he continued to compose some of his most ambitious and transformative work. Facing this multitude of hardships, what he did instead of retreating, was revise, relentlessly. If you've ever seen his manuscripts, you know how intense these revisions are. Measures, even entire pages, are crossed out. Ideas are reworked again and again with a violence you can almost see in the ink strokes. And thank goodness for us all that he persisted. Beethoven didn't just write some of the greatest music in the canon, he fundamentally changed the course of Western music history. His music spoke and continues to speak across centuries, cultures, and lived experiences. For me, his music is deeply personal, and yet I also recognize and understand its universal appeal. More than 200 years later, Beethoven's music still moves us, challenges us, and gives voice to the deepest emotions within all of us. And Beethoven was also deeply grounded in tradition, specifically of the late 18th century and early 19th century forms, structures, and harmonic language of his time. And he stretched those traditions beyond what anyone thought possible. He reminds us that artistic growth often comes not from abandoning what we know, but from engaging with it deeply, questioning it with honesty, and pushing it forward with the best of intentions. It is my hope that this idea, this dichotomy of tradition and innovation, serves as inspiration for your future work. And by the way, Beethoven also depended on sustained support, patrons and members of the nobility, and not because it guaranteed success, but because it allowed the work to exist at all. In much the same way, the Performing Arts Grant Program here in Culver City is made possible through a partnership with the Culver City Arts Foundation, you just heard from Alicia, and Sony Pictures Entertainment. I am deeply grateful for their support of this grant program, which helps create the conditions for art to happen. Performances that, taken together, form a diverse, year-long season, offering something for everyone in our community. I'd like to thank the staff for their hard work. They work really hard on this program all year long, not just at this time of year. And again, just my congratulations to all of the grantees. Thank you to those of you who took the time to come here during the Christmas season and speak to us, as well as those who wrote in. We're going to have a great season. I'm excited to see how your projects come to life here in Culver City in 2026. And to those who weren't selected this year, I hope this process offers insight and encouragement to keep refining, reflecting, revising, and returning. And yes, I like alliteration, much like Beethoven did throughout his career. Culver City's cultural life is richer because of all of you, and I'm proud and grateful for the work that you do. Thank you very much.
Would you like me to read them? Oh, sorry. Sorry. One more.
This is a hard act to follow. I do have a few comments, though. So first off, I am a new member here, and so this was my first time being part of this committee. But I would like to, first off, acknowledge the comments of the speakers tonight. Again, it's wonderful to see you all here in person. Your applications moved us, and we are really thrilled that you will be participating in this coming year. So thank you also of course, to Culver City Arts Foundation and to Sony for backing this. And also, I want to extend thanks to the city staff, Lee Salmon, Cultural Affairs Manager, Sally Unsworth, and also to my fellow commissioner, Tanya Fleischman. So much work goes into this, and was really thrilled to be a part of it. I was struck really by the professionalism, the incredible caliber, and the diversity of the projects. Now more than ever, I am so grateful for that. And I wish you all the best in the upcoming year, and really, really do look forward to seeing your performances. And I think it's important to also, definitely take advantage of Culver City Arts Foundation and all that they have to offer. So it's going to be a very exciting year. And for those who did not get the grant, it was very tough. There were so many applicants. So I, too, encourage you to please try again next year. So thank you again. Excited for the future of Culver City and this exciting program.
Is there a way to put the motion on the screen?
Once the motion is made,
It'll go on the screen. So start the motion.
you can welcome a motion.
Would someone like to make a motion?
Do we have to read it again, or no? I read it. Yeah, okay, I'm going to read it. Action item 2, consideration of recommendation from the 2026 Performing Arts Grant Committee ad hoc subcommittee, program ad hoc subcommittee pertaining to the grant awards for 2026 performances, and make a recommendation to City Council. Okay, yes, it's working. Go for it.
So we've got one mover, and there we go.
There she
Got it.
Do you want to show her how to show? Yeah. So. So moved by Vice Chair Fleischer, seconded by Chair Mascali. All members have voted. And the motion passes with 3 ayes. Thank you.
Congratulations, everyone.
You're welcome to stay, but there will be 2 other action items. Or you're welcome to leave if you'd like. Oh, and there's validation in the back if you parked underneath City Hall. Please go validate your ticket right back there. Just hold the barcode below the light. Okay.
Thank you, everyone who came in person.
Okay, when you're ready, if you'd like to read the next action item, please.
Sure. Action item 3, review of Cultural Affairs Commission biannual written report to the City Council, including accomplishments during the period July to December 2025, and an update on the upcoming January through June 2026 plans, and authorization of transmittal of the report to City Council.
Okay, I'll give a staff report briefly. The item is the Commission's annual written report to City Council required by City Council Policy 3002. The draft report that you have as part of your attachment summarizes Cultural Affairs Commission and subcommittee activities from July through December 2025. It also provides a preview of planned agenda items and focus areas for January through June 2026. The report follows the city clerk's standard template and aims to reflect commission activities, not staff work plans. All commissions are submitting reports this month. This will be compiled for the January 26, 2026 City Council agenda. Tonight's action is for the commission to review the draft, suggest edits or clarifications, and authorize staff to send the final version to City Council. Staff primarily seeks confirmation that the report accurately captures the Commission's work and priorities during this period. Minor edits may be made after tonight's discussion before submitting the final version. So we're going to pull up this on the screen. You should have it on your screen in front of you as well. Can you confirm that you have the draft open there so that you can see it both on your computers and then it's also on the screen, which is harder to read? I would just open this up to commissioners if you've had a chance to look at this draft, to make any additions, corrections, or changes as you see fit, and then we'll go to proceed to the motion. I'm happy, Chair Miscali, if you want to call on commissioners in order to allow for comments or just to allow others to, each of them to raise their hand and unmute if whatever you prefer.
Sure. Yeah, you want to start, Trona?
Thank you so much for the report. So much work goes into this, so appreciate reviewing it ahead of time. One small addition that I wanted to mention, Chairman Miscali and I attended the Asian Film Festival premiere. I guess it must have been last month, right?
Yeah.
Yes, so we attended that, so I just wanted to make a mention of that.
For that, I would put, for Lee, I would put it in other live music programming, which is on page 2 of 6.
But yeah, I don't know if it was music programming, but it's the film festival.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
sorry, not music programming. No.
Yeah.
No, that isn't the right spot.
Yeah, I
You're
think
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. Where do we
does
put
it
that?
belong?
Partnerships and community engagement?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
probably it.
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay,
Sorry about that.
No worries.
so commissioners attended Asian
Film Festival, we attended the premiere.
Film Festival,
Asian World Film Festival,
Yes.
yes.
Asian
Festival
World.
premiere.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was wonderful, by the way.
Okay.
Commissioner Fleischer, any thoughts?
Yeah, just a quick clarification for the music in the chambers. We did just have a subcommittee meeting, so if that can be reflected, that we are beginning to work on a framework for the future of music in the chambers, that would be great. And then if you want, you did say it in next year's work. Let me go scroll down to it here. Yeah, okay, advising and providing performance recommendations to the city for live music events. Well, it's a little more than advising and providing, right? But
We can add a second bullet point there.
Yeah.
And just say, subcommittee to refine, want to say that again? It's under page 4 of 5, and it's down under live music. And that would be if we could add another bullet point.
The future.
Yep, this is the future section. And then Vice Chair Fleischer, if you want to read your language again, or what you'd prefer us to say.
read it. I was in
Or, I
my
mean,
head.
give us a good idea.
So I thought for the first part that we could add that subcommittee met to begin working on a framework for the future of music in the chambers. Would that be all right?
Yeah, that's in the
For the
previous section,
The previous
correct.
section,
Yep.
right, for work that we have done.
Correct. Perfect.
And then for the live music section at the end, let's see.
Creating a framework?
Yeah, I couldn't think
Or
of another.
refining a framework to, can you see where I'm typing?
Oh,
Subcommittee met to begin.
Oh, sorry,
not
I'm
on the
not
screen,
on
the
the
big screen on
presentation.
on
Hold
your
on.
Oh, sorry, here we go. Let me,
I did put it on.
it's weird. Is it there now?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, let me.
So I'm at the bottom of page 2. Subcommittee met to begin,
I can't move this, hold on a second.
Oh, if it's okay.
no.
I can't, it's not moving.
Oh.
So, because it's there.
Okay.
There, okay, right.
Can I make these single page? Is this, I
Might be helpful.
Yeah, can you make it a little?
don't know why,
Click right here on that,
Yeah,
that one
exactly.
right there. And then
Well,
click to zoom in. And then you want to zoom in right here.
Perfect.
I mean, I don't know how much detail you want to get into, but we did review the results of the survey, and we talked about the possible options moving forward. So that's why I think framework kind of just covers it all. That would be okay with me. Let's see.
would you be okay with Sally drafting that after this?
Sure, absolutely. Right, and then in the
If you just
live
put
music
framework
for
on that.
the next 6 months, also perhaps something a little more specific, since it is going to be part of the work plan, what we're really going to be working on this next 6 months. Thanks.
Where is it in
Right
the
where you just were,
live music?
right here in that bullet point.
Okay.
If you just put framework in there, I'll remember that too,
Framework,
for music and chambers.
music
And then
in
I'll word check that.
chambers. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
There's a lot going on in this document.
There is. This is, we submit usually one of the more detailed reports, so
Okay.
you should be very proud of all the work you do.
Yeah, yeah. You would think that there isn't only 3 commissioners. Yeah, I didn't really have any glaring things to point out. I don't know if you guys want to do this or not, but in the section that's highlighting Culver City Arts Foundation, we can potentially add a little bit more details on kind of what they're working on right now and some of the discussions that we've been having. It is true, I have been attending those meetings for the past 6 months. This might segue into something totally different, but we're in the process of, or the Arts Foundation is in the process of starting a subcommittee dedicated to architecture. So yeah, as a person trained in architecture, and I know that some of the biggest and best firms in the world not only produce work in Culver City, but have their firms in Culver City. Rent has gone up, and many of them have escaped to Hawthorne and stuff, but for the most part, there are some very, very big names in architecture in the city still. And so yeah, I've been speaking to the creative economy representatives from city staff and the leadership at Culver City Arts Foundation. The subcommittee has been established, and we're thinking about doing some kind of panel discussion and inviting some of the architecture leaders from the community to have a discussion. Ideally, some point next year, maybe an architecture-flavored creative economy mixer, something of that nature, to kind of bring the architects into the fold of our cultural development, because I feel like most of them don't even know what's going on from that perspective. So that might be something interesting to highlight about the Culver City Arts Foundation.
So since this is a commission report of the activities of this commission here, and that's more of something through the foundation, we could say something along the lines of, you attended these meetings. I'm just going to look at exactly what that is.
Which section?
It is going to be under the Culver City Arts Foundation section, and it says Chair Miscali attended CCAF board meetings. It's on page 2 of 5 throughout the 6-month period. And then and basically worked with foundation on creative economy and architecture initiatives.
Perfect.
Does that work?
Yep.
Okay, great.
Awesome.
I've also been involved with kind of what's going on with the Culver Arts Foundation as well, just through meetings.
Do you want us to add a second bullet point there, or just say?
You could just say the committee in general.
Yeah, instead of saying Chair Miscali, I would say subcommittee attended. Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else? We can, again, make small adjustments before we submit. I think we have a couple of weeks before we send it in, the deadline for it. So if you have any small adjustments, we can't make any major additions or changes after we vote on it. But again, tiny, if you see a typo or if you want to just change a word or two, please just send me an email. If you're done editing, if you have any other comments or anything, then we can close out and actually do the action item for the motion.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Figure it out.
So again, I'll call for a motion, and then we'll read the,
Sure. You want me to read it again?
yes, please.
Sure. Action item 3, review of a Cultural Affairs Commission biannual written report to the City Council, including accomplishments during the period July to December 2025, and an update on the upcoming January through June 2026 plans and authorization of transmittal of the report to the City Council.
The motion is going to be to approve as amended, since we made corrections and changes.
Sure. Okay. I moved it.
Oh, yeah.
You got it. Success.
Okay. That was tough. Moved by Chair Mascali and seconded by Commissioner Gupta. Approve as amended. All members have voted. And the motion passes with 3 ayes.
It's starting to take shape. It looks graphically much better than in the past, and you're not dealing with iPads.
Yes. Got the hang of it now.
And the voting actually works.
Yeah, it works.
Okay. Okay, please read our next agenda item.
Sure, we have C1, consent item, approval of minutes of the regular meetings of September 16th, October 2025, and, I'm sorry, meetings of September 16th, 2025, and October 21st, 2025.
So this is traditionally up at the beginning of the meeting. We moved it to the end because we anticipated a lot of speakers. So at this point, I would just ask for any corrections, changes, updates, questions you have on these 2 sets of minutes.
It looked good to me.
Looks good to me.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, a motion to approve made by Vice Chair Fleischer, seconded by Commissioner Gupta. All members have voted. And the motion passes with 3 ayes.
Great, moving on to the next item. Do we have any public comment for items not on the agenda?
We do. Alicia Ide.
Ah. Our friend once again.
So it being the end of the year, I wanted a chance to just get up and do a quick review, but I also want to do some invitations. So just for the benefit of the public and everyone listening, in addition to supporting the Culver City programs, the Artist Laureate program, and helping launch the Concert in the Chambers series, we also gave out scholarships. We produced an amazing book festival. We supported the summer concert series and also invited local artists to play at the pre-show. We did the Tito's Fiesta Mexicana, which is a great event, the Art Walk Festival, the Projecting Possibilities exhibition. We gave numerous grants to individuals, various artists, to multiple film festivals and other local festivals, as well as local Culver City organizations, such as AVPA and the Historical Society, et cetera. And of course, some of you were able to join the holiday party last week, which was great at the Color Me Mine store. I wanted to alert you all to the retreat that's coming up in January, and in particular this year, the retreat will be focused on how the Arts Foundation can manage what's been requested of us by the City of Culver City to help plan and support financially the programming for the Olympics. And yes, just today, we were briefed on a potential opportunity for 2027 that would be wonderful. I haven't had a chance to advise Sally about it, but it's a significant burden. We also, of course, have our own activities that we'd like to participate in, including the cultural equity plan, plumbing, the regional events planning. We will submit an actual festival proposal for the Olympics, and we want to also help organize and support the other organizations' proposals for the Olympics. And of course, we want to continue on with our murals. If you haven't seen the one on Washington Boulevard, it's truly astounding. And do a local tour, online resource. So lots of things coming up, and we'd love to have you be part of the conversation at the retreat, including Tanya, who's not necessarily a delegate, but certainly you're welcome. And I don't know what happened at the beginning of the meeting because I missed the beginning of the meeting, but I would want to request that you adjourn in honor of Rob Reiner and, of course, his wife. Reiner changed film, creating a whole new genre. And as with all artists who are taken too soon, I'm assuming you are saddened by the loss of what he might have created in the future. And I encourage all artists who are here tonight and online to push the boundaries and try new things and take risks that can lead to truly amazing things. Thank you.
Alicia, can you give us the exact date in January, just so we have that for the record?
Yeah, it's Sunday, January 25th. It'll be at the Kirk Douglas, starting probably at noon. And we'll serve some food.
Thank you very much. Okay, do we have any items from members and staff?
Want to start with Sam?
Okay, evening commissioners. I have two updates that I would like to share tonight. On December 8th, Staff and Cultural Affairs Commission Public Arts Subcommittee convened with the architectural firm Brooks and Scarpa, soon to be renamed Brooks Scarpa Huber. On behalf of the Rethink Culver LLC, Brooks and Scarpa presented an architectural as art proposal for the 9810-9814 Washington Boulevard development. As you know, architecture as art is one of the options for private developers to fulfill their APPP requirement. This development is adjacent to the Kirk Douglas Theater. The private developer has been in discussion for a few years with EconDev, is finally moving forward with a plan to construct a mixed-use property consisting of 3 to 4 levels with 2,725 square feet of new ground floor commercial space and 34 residential units. Their proposal focuses on the sculptural stair enclosure at the development, which are conceived as a work of art. Their underlying concept derived from the image of a dynamic curtain, a diaphanous cinematic veil whose visual qualities shift from movement, light, and time. The Cultural Affairs Commission Chair Mascali and Commissioner Gupta asked questions, provided critical feedback, and made recommendations to the architectural team. The architectural team will make refinements based on the recommendations and will share the updated presentation deck with the Cultural Affairs staff and the subcommittee members before it is presented to a separate professional review panel. The proposal was approved to advance to a professional panel consisting of 2 independent commercial architects, 1 visual artist, 1 visual arts administrator, and 1 general design professional, such as a landscape architect or commercial interior designer, as outlined in the Arts in Public Places Ordinance. The next step now is for the Cultural Affairs staff, working in partnership with Elaine from Econ Dev, to convene the independent professional review panel that will make a recommendation to the Public Arts Subcommittee. Hopefully, this will be done in late January or early 2026. Now, the final approval will be determined by the Cultural Affairs Commission with the recommendation from the Public Arts Subcommittee in a subsequent meeting. So my second update is regarding the Culver City Colorful Communities poster program. We were successful in procuring the 5 neighborhood representatives, each from the 5 neighborhoods that the city is featuring for this cycle. They are residents and are amazing. They are very enthusiastic about their participation in this program. On December 8th, staff met virtually with the 5 representatives to review the scoring criteria. After the orientation, they, after signing a non-disclosure and conflict of interest agreement, were then provided with their own score sheet and scoring guidelines. They now have access to the 25 eligible applications and are currently scoring them. The deadline for submitting their scores is Thursday, January 8, 2026. Staff is scheduled to meet with the Public Arts Subcommittee on Thursday, January 15, a week later, to review the top 5 finalists, and will make a recommendation to approve the finalists at the February 17, 2026 Cultural Affairs Commission meeting. That's my report. Thank you.
Okay, I'll make this very brief. I don't have much that hasn't been covered. I think that I just wanted to extend my thanks and appreciation to our commission who have stepped in and truly are 5 individuals that just look like 3 right now based on the volume of work that they've been doing lately. We will be adding in a more formal subcommittee reporting structure to these meetings based on some commission feedback about making sure, and you noticed that that was part of Sam's report, is that it was a pretty detailed report on what the Public Arts Subcommittee. I may call upon each of you in the future to add to that reporting for the public record so that everybody on the commission, especially when we get the 2 additional commissioners, that they're well versed on subcommittee work that may be not happening in their own particular subcommittees. So I just wanted to give you that heads up because the 3 of you have been in probably more than 2 subcommittee meetings a week for the past 2 months. I felt that you were probably apprised of what's been going on with Culver City lately. So I just wanted to say thank you for stepping in. Thank you for all of the work. I also want to just give another congratulations to Civil Economics and to MIG. I'm really thrilled. I know the 3 of us are thrilled to get going on the cultural plan. I have worked on 2 different municipal cultural plans in the past 5 or 6 years. I know how much work goes into it. I know how engaged and how much of the community engagement is such a huge part of this. I know that the Arts Foundation and their voice will be a huge part of this. And I would just call on any of the artists left in this room to really engage with this process too, because it will really shape the next decade of arts engagement for the city of Culver City. And we really look forward to that. And just a note that this segues into another thing that what is not always visible in some of these meetings is just how much cross-departmental collaboration we actually do as a staff. And the cultural plan is a very good example of that. We had members from several different departments weigh in on the RFP process. We were thrilled with 18 amazing proposals, and we really just acknowledge our colleagues for their ability to look through all 18 proposals and really give us their own lens, including the Parks Department and Advanced Planning, who had just gone through their own major planning process in the past years. So that was invaluable. We've also had meetings with transportation, with Public Works, and been talking a lot lately with planning on historic preservation issues that are coming in front of this commission. So I just wanted to make the commissioners aware of that cross-departmental work that is happening right now. And finally, I just wanted to thank my colleagues as we close out the year, Sam and Lee, who are we're a mighty team, and we each come with different strengths, and I think that the three of us together have accomplished a lot this year and have done so with some delays that then pushed forward all of a sudden, and things have changed, and lots of different things have been thrown at us, and I just wanted to say how much I appreciate the work of our team. And with that, I will turn it to you, Chair Miscali.
Thank you very much. I'd also like to second that. The same way that our time is currently being abused, I'm sure your time is also being abused. So thank you so much for picking up the slack and really doing the work of maybe 5 or 6 people with 3. And I guess this is a great time to reiterate to the powers that are higher than us that I'd like to advocate for Sam's position to become full-time and for him to stay with us because at the moment we have to refresh him every year. I think it's important with all the stuff that's going on in the future of our city and cultural development for us to continue, all of us when we can, to advocate for more staff and trying to achieve more. I don't really have anything particular to add. I know we missed a meeting last month because a lot of things were kind of in limbo. But I did attend the Asian World Film Festival, and I wanted to second Commissioner Gupta's statements on how awesome it was, and it was one of the first spaces that I've been to that was kind of focused on Asian culture that wasn't exclusive to East Asian. You know, there was a lot of, and I'd never been to the Asian World Film Festival, but I noticed there was a lot of people from Central Asia there, you know, people from Uzbekistan, Tajikistan. There was a lot of people from Russia that were there in attendance. All sorts of different cultures from East Asia were represented, and it was great. I even saw many West Asian people like myself. So I wanted to commend them on doing that and really allowing the attendees to experience the full breadth of Asian culture. So that was great. A second point to note about that is that a lot of film festivals have been starting to make Culver City their home, and ironically, the Culver City Film Festival was recently held in Culver City for what seems to be the first time. They were in another city up until now, Westchester or something like that. And then before the Asian Film Festival, there was the Proof Film Festival as well, which I unfortunately couldn't make it. I didn't check my email fast enough when Alicia sent me the RSVP, so I missed that entirely. But and Culver Arts is also positioning themselves and is really kind of spearheading this kind of agenda to bring more film festivals to the city. Many of them are already interested in joining us at the Culver Theater downtown, and more are applying, and Culver Arts itself might kind of be the spearheading factor in producing an international film festival during the Olympics and trying to bring a lot of cinematic energy into our city. It makes sense. We're the heart of Screenland. We're transitioning into the heart of Streamland. And so just something to put on everybody's radar, that, you know, there's kind of like this rebirth and, you know, re-energization of watching movies in our city, which is great because most people these days just watch movies in their pajamas at home, and COVID did a number on the movie industry from a consumer perspective. And it's nice to see that Culver City is kind of, at the forefront of bringing back this idea of let's all go hang out at the movies. So yeah, that was my only last thing to add. Commissioner, Vice Chair Fleischer.
Good. Yeah, I've spoken enough tonight, so I just want to mention a couple of things. First of all, I want to congratulate publicly Freddie Puza, who is our new mayor. I think it's wonderful that he has not just supported the arts, but he comes to events, and I see him everywhere. And we had an artist previously as our mayor. Even though Freddie is not an artist, he's a huge supporter of the arts, and I think it's going to be wonderful to have him as mayor as we embark on the cultural plan. So looking forward to that and interacting with him on this cultural plan. Let me just second about Sam's position. When that comes, we certainly need it. I really don't know what we do without Sam, so thank you for everything you've done. Especially this Colorful Communities project, it's really exciting and it's new for our community, and I think it's going to be great. Lastly, I just wanted to say I attended the Love Local Art Fair that was on Saturday, and it was really fun. Lots of great vendors, and bought a few Christmas gifts, holiday gifts, and as usual, Edgar did a fantastic job, and I would just like to see it grow even bigger because there's still more space we could fill out. I went to the art fair in Burbank, and it's huge. It's like 6 blocks long, but it was packed, and I think Culver City has the potential to do that again on a bigger scale, and it only benefits everyone, right? Because when you're at this big arts festival, what are you going to do? You need to go get some food and some drink and maybe go have lunch, and so it just helps the creative economy even more so. So I'd like to see that grow in the future. Other than that, I just want to thank staff for all your hard work this year and wish everybody happy holidays and healthy beginning to the new year. Thanks.
Commissioner Gupta?
I'll go next. So I wanted to just kind of give an update of some of the things I've done personally, and then I'll kind of wrap up. But, there's just so much happening here in Culver City, and I'm reminded of that each and every day. So, most recently, sorry, I have some notes here. I just want to, the holiday season is always busy, but with family in town, it's a great excuse to experience the vibrancy of this city and beyond. So within Culver City itself, I actually did attend a couple of really wonderful events at the Vende recently, so I wanted to mention those. One is the artist Enrique Martinez Celaya. It's called The Sextant is the show. It's a powerful and immersive installation that functions both as primary experience and as an allegory for evolving hopes and illusions, and it's truly a wonderful show, so I do recommend. I also went to a wonderful talk at the Vende. It was a book report, well, not a book report, but sorry, George Packer in conversation with Ben Rhodes on the book called The Emergency. And again, that's a very timely discussion, and it was just really powerful. So that is within Culver City. And then beyond Culver City, the Murakami exhibit at the Broad was wonderful. I also attended a holiday sing-along at the Disney Concert Hall. And I did go to a couple of wonderful galleries downtown in LA. Charlie James Gallery. There's a wonderful show called Mary Ana Pomones, She Who Holds the Sun, as well as Shizu Salamanda, and that's May the Ground, May the Ground, See Thee. Again, that's beautiful works, kind of on raw wood panel, incorporating mixed media collage, and really wonderful stuff. So again, experiencing this breadth of artwork here within Culver City and LA is so powerful, and I encourage all of us to kind of get out there during the holiday season. And I kind of also want to take a minute to congratulate Mayor Freddie Puza, whom I know, and I'm really excited about 2026 with him, as well as Vice Mayor Bubba Fish and the new city manager as well. And want to advocate for Sam's position to be made permanent. He is such a true gem, and we are very lucky to have him. And I want to extend my thanks to my fellow commissioners. I've really learned a lot from you both, and I'm excited to serve with you in 2026, as well as the city staff and Cultural Affairs Manager Sally Unsworth. Really wonderful to be here working with you, and look forward to working with you all in the future, and have a wonderful holiday and be safe. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Okay, with that, I guess we can motion to adjourn, yes? Awesome. No 6-hour meetings here. We're the artsy people.
As you're doing this, I just want to thank Tiana Allen, who does so much for this city and just did a training before this, and honestly is the calmest voice I've ever known. And really, really helps us all. So thank you, Tiana.
Awesome.
Moved by Chair Mascali and seconded by Vice Chair Fleischer.
Awesome.
You still need to vote on your screen. Don't run out yet.
And we need you to sign something, too.
Do you see it? Okay, all members have voted. And the meeting is adjourned. Thank you. And? Yes.